All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in this week. I have my guest, Kimberly Clinkscale. She is going to talk about the business of healthcare and taking care of home healthcare, taking care of home and all that stuff. And she's also published two books, Nothing But God and Love Me. Can You Love Me in the Dark? And she's very accomplished, has her own business, and I'm just very delighted to be with Kimberly Clinkscale. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Kimberly.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Clinkscale. I live in the city of Canfield, Ohio. I am married to Gabriel Clinkscale. I have two daughters, Shantae and Shannon, and I have one son, Gabriel Clinkscale.
Okay, now let's talk about this a little bit because you were telling me about I used to work with Gabe years ago, and I'm sure everybody at the post office and all his family members know about Gabe. And the meat of this topic was to basically touch on the experiences, and the experience that you had to go through as a loving wife, just having a business and being an author and having to take care of home. So tell us a little bit about that and how the things you've had to go through to make it work.
About 10 years ago, Gabe took sick. He worked at the U.S. Postal Service in Girard, Ohio. And one day, me and Gabe was coming home from my son's baseball game.
Yeah.
And he was on the other side of the road. And I asked him, did he know that he was on the other side of the road? And he didn't know.
Yeah.
And immediately, something wasn't right with him. Began to get phone calls from work.
Yeah.
And saying that Gabe was putting in the wrong data.
Oh. Okay.
And Gabe was a carrier for about like 10 years, and then he came to be a supervisor. And loved his job as a supervisor.
Yeah.
Never came home, never complained. Never knew what was going on because he said when he's at work, he's at work. But when he's home, he's home.
At home. So and then he just kind of, that's when you started seeing signs of probably dementia or Alzheimer's or what?
He was getting lost. He lost his job as a supervisor, and they put him being a carrier.
Yeah.
And I knew that Gabe really loved being a supervisor.
Yeah, I used to work with him, so I know.
Yeah. He was good in his job. He was a man that loved his job. Even the commercials that came in on. He would always speak on the Postal Service. But when he began to forget where he was at,
that's when you knew.
That's when it was a problem.
Now, knowing Gabe and knowing how he was as a person, some people when they talk about this, especially when we're talking about our listen and learn segment, so people can learn what it's like when you have a profession, you're working for the federal government or any, you have to take care of home. So knowing what do you think started to cause that? What are the signs for the people out there to, like, if they have to experience at home? Like what is it, trauma? Tell us a little bit about that.
I think it's stress.
Oh, stress.
I think it's stress. And also it can be trauma.
Yeah.
Things that you have seen, and I wasn't aware of all the things that he had seen, but just some of the things that he, had to deal with. It was rough. It was rough for him. Like I said, Gabe was the type of person never really, said anything. He held a lot of things in. Yeah. And I hated that.
Yeah. So he held it all in.
That's
what it was. He needed to let it out.
He needed to let it out.
So now we were talking about this too. We were talking about how people who live in inner city, especially the demographics, when we talk about health and we talk about ethnicity. And we were talking about how this can sometimes, people when they don't have that outlet or they don't know who to talk to, how that can sometimes be a problem. Do you think that's what have probably affected your husband?
Yes, I do. Because he was kind of like private. And so many times when you're private, you're not going to discuss anything with anyone. Yeah. Like I said, his job was his job, and his home was his home when it came to his family. Yeah. So
now you have let out your words. You've let your words out in a book, and that's what I like about. And this is what people do when they need to express. So tell us a little bit, just a little bit about your book. I'm going to bring her back again so we can talk more about it, but just tell us a little bit about your book so we can touch on how you have let out your thoughts and anything that you're dealing with. What is your book? Tell us about your book and what has this done for you?
Well, it was like a stress relief.
Yeah.
For me, because of dealing with Gabe, it was rough.
Yeah.
You know, here's a young man that works. He's taking care of family. And never complained. And never complained about when it came to work.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, that kind of worried me, because with my husband, I want to know what's going on at work. And when the coworkers begin to call me and share certain things with me, I knew that wasn't Gabe. Gabe was, from work, outside, making sure the yard looked good, making sure the family was taken care of. So when he took sick, it was hard on me. And I didn't know how to deal with it.
You just got it out with the words.
I had to get it out with the word. I had to learn how to talk to someone. And letting them know, I can't do it. I can't do it at all. So when Gabe began to forget where he was at, it was okay, and he was afraid that I was going to leave him. He was afraid that, bills wouldn't get paid. So his mind was on things that I wasn't really concerned about. He was there for me. And I told him I was going to be there for him.
And that's good. We're on this topic about marriage and relationships. And you have been there through thick and thin. What words would you have for the people out there who are considering tying the knot, or who have been in a marriage that would, like myself, who may not want to give it another shot? I mean, tell us the pros and cons of that.
Well, when you get married, Brian, listen, when you say them vows, for better, for worse,
for richer, for poor,
to death do us part. That's what I can say and give to anyone who wants to get married. I see loved ones that they got married, it was fine, they had a good time, but as soon as someone gets sick, the first thing that they say is, I can't handle it, and then they in a nursing home somewhere. But I promised Gabe that I would love him to the end. I promised him that I would be there in sickness and in health. Told him that I would be there for him, until we leave this earth. And he didn't have to worry about anything. I'm going to be there. How I got through it was a friend. And she said, you have to love him where he's at. But I didn't know how to. When he would put garbage all in the refrigerator. He would have his feces all over the walls, and I was like, how are you doing this? How did you go through that? And she said, you have to love him where he's at. Keep God first. And ask God to help you. And that's what, it just helped me. What went on in our marriage, the arguing and disagreement. I forgot about that.
It. Just kept it going.
I wasn't thinking about that. We had 2 kids. They were young at that time, and we had to get through it together. And that's what we done.
We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to be back with Miss Kimberly Clinkscale, and she is going to talk about mixing her entrepreneur life, running a business, and we're going to conclude with some questions, and then we'll try to see if she's going to come back one day again on the Listen and Learn segment to talk about her books. So we'll be right back. You're in the Mediator with me, Brian West, our Listen and Learn segment. I'll be right back. Tune in and don't forget to subscribe to Method 8 Inc. YouTube channel. You can also watch free public entertainment. And don't forget to show some support by visiting www.method8inc.com by buying something, clicking something, watching something, or just reading something. You can also sponsor a program as well. That's www.method8inc.com. Buy stuff, watch stuff, or read stuff.
What does Method8inc.com Media Center have that I need?
Small prints,
event consulting, photography, business consulting, technical consulting, entertainment consulting, fundraising advice, event videography, movies, news, publishing, media, books, entertainment, acting, broadcasting, public relations, access to the visual and performing arts, ink and black ink refills, audio recording, graphic design, theater, minor computer and cell phone repair, and they're located at 5648 Market Street in Boardman, Ohio from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. every Monday through Friday. The list goes on and on.
Method8inc.com. Buy stuff, watch stuff, or read stuff.
Oh yeah! And yes, we are chipmunks.
I am back with Mrs. Kimberly Clinkscale. We're in our Listen and Learn segment. In the first part, she talked about her marriage and being a home health caregiver, of being taking care of her husband, and the principles that we all need to follow while being married and just sacrificing and everything. Now, tell us a little bit about mixing the entrepreneur. I know you have your own business. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's a challenge, but just trying to juggle everything together. It's like running, my business. I work with autistic children.
Okay,
30 years. Shepherd of All God's Children Learning Center / Hope Academy for Autism. And, trying to take care of my husband, my children. And also my business. It's, you got to know how to balance certain things.
Tell us the main principle, like you have mission statements and people can donate and everything and all that stuff. So this is your, now why open up a place like this? Like what inspired you?
My friend.
Oh, okay.
It was through a friend. I had a preschool started, but I would watch my friend. Her name is Michelle Stevenson, and she had 2 special needs children.
Oh, okay.
And just watching her, I mean, it's amazing. And so I wanted to open up an autistic school, just watching her. So that made me want to do something different.
And
it was a challenge. But I love working with special needs children.
It is just something you enjoy doing.
Yes.
Now, what is it like? Do you mix Christian principles at all? Like, do you use your faith a lot to stay inspired? How does that help you? Some people, does it help you out?
It helps me out a lot. God is first in my life. I can't do anything without Him. So with God, all things are possible. And that's where I'm at. Just praying.
So now we're on this topic, and then we'll conclude. But I think that's been the founding principle in a lot of people's life. Why do you think that's important?
Because He died for us.
He
died for us.
The story, the concept of it.
And why not? Why not follow His lead?
Do you read? Do you read your Bible a lot?
I read. I study. I fast. I pray. All above.
And you say that as helped you through everything.
Most definitely.
Most
definitely.
So you're a witness.
I am a witness. I am a witness.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Now, before we conclude, would you like to talk anything about these books? I know we'll do a separate interview with them. Is there anything special you want people to know, or how can they get them, or how if they want to read them before you talk about them, or
they want to get them? Is k.clinkscale at AOL.com. And you can reach me by phone. Code 330-219-5585.
Okay. And do you have a social media account or anything?
I do not.
Okay. And you so she a bit about an email. You got an email?
I do have an email.
Okay. So if you want to send you questions, do you give your email out or anything?
I can give it.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll put it on the screen too, but if you want to say it too. But these are her books. I'll have them on the screen. Now, they just have to buy them through you, correct?
They can buy them through me.
And it goes into her. You just go into your. Do you look at your business as a ministry at all?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So
it is a ministry because the type of children that I deal with. And the families that I deal with.
That's
it's
good.
Just not. They get their education. Education is first, but the need out there. There's so many of our families that is in need, so we reach out. Our children. we meet them where they're at.
Yeah, and how many years have you been doing this again?
It's 30 years.
30 years. 30 years.
Yes.
30 years.
Yes.
30 years. Wow. All right. So we'll conclude, and I hope you're going to come back and talk about your books one day, right?
I will.
And I promise you, I will read them. I have so many books on my schedule, and we just got done filming. So, but I knew that it would take 2 interviews because I wanted you to talk. Is there anything left you want to talk about the life that you're living now? I know you had some things that you said that loved ones have been going, and we've been in this battle together. So, is there any words of encouragement you want to give people out there?
The words of encouragement: if you get married, remember the vows that you take.
What about family?
Family is so important.
Yeah,
it's so important. Always keep an open communication.
And what about the people who contemplate suicide or may have lost a loved one? What encouragement would you give them?
I would tell them to find out more what's going on in their family. Sometimes we might see. Sometimes we might think about what they done.
Yeah.
And don't talk. But
now we come from the same section of society. We're of the same complexion, and I've never put race into things, but there's a lot of people of different ethnicities and different backgrounds going out there, but especially African American women and African American males. You have a son. What words of encouragement would you like to give them and then the rest of all the people out there so we can try to get this thing together here?
I have a son, and it's just really just talking to him.
Yeah.
And letting them know that I love you.
Yeah.
God created you. God gave you to me. So sometimes what we see, they might not understand.
Okay.
What we went through,
they made it.
It's different. He always say it's a different generation, and it is.
Yeah.
But growing up with me, it was a lot of discipline in my home.
So you say that for all people,
I say that
all
with
kids
all
out there.
Kids.
Yeah.
Listen to your parents. Sometimes you feel that you know more than your parents.
Yeah.
But listen to them.
Listen to them.
And we listen to them.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Well, you heard it yourself from Miss Kimberly Clinkscale. I hope you guys learned something from the Listeners Learn segment. The meat of the topic was mainly to get to know her as a person. She is in the community, and she's still on the battlefield, as we all are. And as you heard it, for all people, not just of one race, but all kids out there and all people who are going through things, is listen, learn, live life, and don't give up. Don't give up the fight, and stay inspired and keep God close to your heart. I hope you got something out of today's interview. Are there any last words or any comments you'd like to make? Do you feel better? You were a little.
I feel better.
You feel better?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I
well,
do.
Thank you so much. Like I said, she's going to come back again, and she's going to talk about her books filled with inspiration, love, peace, and joy, and testimony. Thank you so much for tuning to the Beer this week. I'll be back next week looking through over 200 more topics just to keep you informed, and hopefully somebody out there will come and embrace us with their presence in the Lesson and Learn segment. Thank you for tuning in this week with me, Brian West. Have a good week, everybody. Peace.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.